Overwatch 2 has a bit of a competitive problem, and we're going to break it down in this video because Blizzard have actually made a statement as to some parts of this issue which do shed a little bit of light onto this. So I think the first place to start here is just straight up with seasonal rewards for competitive play, because there is a problem with the messaging inside Overwatch. Now, this post popped up on Reddit, and this is a player saying, look at my ranks here. So you've got Silver Tank, you've got Gold 4 in DPS, and you've got Gold 5 in support, and then you've got Open Queue. So DPS Gold is this player's highest rank. However, the rewards they get in competitive points for their placement in the season, or their rank as the season ends, that's what you've got to remember, is 250. It shouldn't be this, should it? It should be more, because you should be getting competitive points for each of these ranks. Well, take a look at this. This is what you get when you load up Overwatch and you go to competitive and you look at the explanation for competitive. In the bottom left corner of this screen, it says this: players have different skill tiers for each hero role, damage, support, and tank. Competitive points are rewarded separately for each role's skill tier. Grandmaster players may only queue solo or in a party of 2. So that second point there, competitive points are rewarded separately for each role's tier. I read that, and to me, it just looks like it was in Overwatch 1. It's like, yeah, you just get the competitive points for whatever tier you are in for that role at the end of the season. So in the case of our friend who is Silver, Gold 4, and Gold 5, you would think, okay, they get the silver points, and then they get double gold rewards, effectively. They don't, because they just get it for whatever their highest rank was. Now look at this. This is a post that came out yesterday on the forums, and Blizzard now say this: end of season competitive point payouts. As mentioned above, we have updated our end of season bonus competitive points to reward the highest rank you end with across all roles between role queue and open queue. Competitive points are awarded based on the ending skill ranks and no longer what is the highest achieved in a season. So that there is them saying, actually, you just get the competitive points for, well, your highest rank across all of the ranked modes. So again, if we go back to our friend with the silver, gold, 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 their highest rank there is the gold 4 for DPS. So that's all they get the competitive rewards for. This is annoying, isn't it? Because again, this just on the face of it, straight up looks like Blizzard restricting the amount of reward currency you can get to actually spend on items in the game. Now, of course, you can only get golden weapon skins with these points at the moment. I'm sure there'll be things in the future that you'll be able to spend these on. And if you played Overwatch 1, you might have loads of these. I mean, I've personally got thousands of these just because I don't spend them. And I've obviously played Overwatch for a long, long time. But still, this is kind of crappy, isn't it? Like, you'd think that you'd want it to go for each role, because then surely all the players would want to, you know, like, you wouldn't just go, okay, I'm only just playing support this season. It's pointless me playing the other roles because I'm not going to get no reward for them. And that's effectively what this does. So it's not great, is it? It doesn't feel great for the player. So what is the drama here with rank? Well, there's a pretty big problem. And Blizzard have actually put out an official statement about this. So let's go over this, and then let me explain what is going on here, because it's this conflict between what rank is being shown to the player and what the rank actually is, which is what all of the seasonal rewards are based on, which is very, you know, you can't show players one thing and then reward them on something else. This all comes back to the whole, you get a ranked adjustment after 20 defeats or 7 wins. Because if you're in the middle of that, we don't know what your rank is. Maybe you've lost 19 games, but your rank shows yourself as like Diamond 4. Well, if you've lost 19 games, the next time you lose a game, you'll probably D-rank. But you won't see that rank, because then if you ended the season and didn't play again, you'd look at your rank and go, well, I'm Diamond 4. But then, when Overwatch 2 Season 2 begins, you click on your profile and have a look, actually, oh no, I was Diamond 5, or maybe you've gone down into Platinum 1 or something like that. You would be shocked and you would not feel great. Again, this is why these systems are so crazy to me. I don't know why Overwatch are kind of... well, we'll explain why I think they're doing this later on in the video, but I just think it doesn't feel great, does it, as a player, to have things taken away from you or to show one thing and it actually not be the truth. Anyway, this is the statement from Blizzard. Regarding start of season competitive play, at the end of every season, your final rank will be based on any matches played since your last rank update. End of season competitive rewards are based on your final rank. Now remember, you won't see this final rank unless you get 7 wins for the competitive update or 20 defeats for the competitive update. So if you've got 5 wins, you won't know what your rank is because it hasn't changed. But it has changed because your MMR, the hidden matchmaking rank or matchmaking rating, you can't see it, but the game adjusts that after every single match you play. It's essentially what SR was a visual representation of, that they ended up getting rid of for Overwatch 2 because they didn't like it, that numbers were going up and down, and it made players play less. And of course, that's the reason why they've made this change, because if players don't see their rank, they probably play the game more, and that's what they want you to do. Be online, be spending more of your game time on Overwatch 2 because it's effectively a game that is a live service, so they want you on this and not on Apex Legends or Valorant, for example. Anyway, it goes on to say, when the season begins, we apply some rank decay to all roles, and over the course of a season, players should climb back to ranks that represent their true skill level. That being said, all match-made games will still be based on your underlying MMR, ensuring we're making matches as fair as possible. So what this means in English is, if you finish the these are just going to be examples, but if you finish the season at Diamond 5, it might put you at Gold 4 for the start of next season. However, that is just your visual rank that you can see. Your underlying MMR is still that of a Diamond player. But this is where it gets funky. Everybody else at your rank, if they played last season and ended in Diamond, but now they're Gold, so you load into a Gold game, actually, it's not a Gold game, it's a Diamond game, because they are making fair games based off MMR of these decayed Diamond players, this arbitrary decay. So you were Diamond, now you're Gold, but you're still Diamond because it's still a Diamond game, but it's just Gold, right? Because it looks like Gold. So a player looks at it and goes, what the hell, this is a Gold game? And then they may think, actually, these players are terrible, whatever. But the reality is they're not. They're players of the same rank that you ended the season at last season. See how this is like completely ridiculous? And then, as you start playing through the season, you'll go through your rank adjustments. And if it's anything like mine was last season, it would be after 7 wins, I'd go up 1 rank tier. I'd never see it jump like multiple tiers, but it'd be, it'd go up a tier. I never went down, which is good. I don't think I lost 20 games in a row. That's good. I always won enough to get the 7-win update before the defeat update, I guess, or whatever we want to call that one. But I'd only ever go up 1 rank. So let's say if I finished at Diamond 1 and it puts me in like Gold 5, well, that's a lot of competitive updates there. So what they're doing is artificially making you play the game to get back to the point that you were at the end of the season, so you get that feeling of progression, when actually you're only playing against people who are the same rank as you at the end of the season. You see where I'm going with this? It's just, I don't know, it feels horrible that they've actually wrote this out and it's so abundantly clear. Now, this was the case. This was always going to be the case for this new competitive season. But it does feel bad, doesn't it? To me, it feels quite bad because like what they're effectively saying is, we're just dropping your visual rank and giving you a reason to go and play a bunch of games. And we're not really going to change your rank that much because, well, after 7 games, you'll probably go up a tier. Maybe go up 2 tiers if you play incredibly well. But it's going to take a long time to get back to that Diamond 1 rank you were maybe at. Or maybe you were at like Master 5 and now you're at Platinum 5 at the start of the season. Again, you've got to go through Diamond again. There's a whole load of games you've got to win. It's making you play the game more to get back to your rank. This is what I don't like about it, because I think you should just, there should be some sort of decay, I guess, but maybe not just arbitrary at the start of the season. They could decay you if you didn't play. Like, so if I didn't play comp for 2 weeks, yeah, decay me. But if I was playing comp literally yesterday and then the new season starts and you just drop me down to 2 ranked divisions, well, that don't feel great, does it? I think that's the issue we're getting at here, guys. Anyway, it does go on to say, we understand that we need to do a better job making these systems more understandable, and we'll be addressing these issues and other parts of the system in the future. But so whatever, like that's just something they're always going to add at the end of these statements, because it just says, hey, we're listening, we're going to make changes, but we're not going to tell you what they are, and we don't know when they're coming. So yeah, deal with it. So we move on to the forums. This is a little bit more of a detailed update as compared to the post on Twitter. So this is what it says. Update: the start of each competitive season for returning players. Players who played in Season 1 will notice changes that are different from how competitive seasons worked before Overwatch 2 launched. We want to take the time to remind players of these changes that are part of Competitive 2.0 experience in Overwatch 2. Final competitive update. At the end of every season, you will receive a final competitive update, regardless of reaching 7 wins or 20 losses, based on any matches played since your last rank update. So, for example, if you lost more matches than you won, it is possible you have dropped down in rank, and that final update applies as the ending rank for the season. Now, what is crucial here, guys, is you would not see that. So if you were Platinum 5, but were losing loads of games, maybe you went like a 10-game losing streak, you might actually start the next season, or it'll show you your end rank, of the previous season, as maybe gold 1, and you'd be like, excuse me, I was in platinum, because you believe you are in platinum because that's what the game is showing you. It's not showing you the underlying MMR, which has gone down because, yeah, you've been losing games, and that's crap. Like, that is really not good. They've got to do a better job of showing you what your rank is after every game, to be honest. But as I said, they're probably not doing that because that makes people feel sad when they lose games and see the number go down. They don't want to carry on playing. So if we hide that, they'll keep playing regardless of what's happening, which you can then argue does dilute the competitive experience of the game in some ways, because you just end up going, well, I don't really care too much. And in fact, I've had a good time playing competitive, not really in a competitive mindset. Yeah, I'm playing to win, but I'm not like it's the be-all and end-all. And that's because I can't see numbers go down. So maybe Blizzard are onto something here. But again, you know, there's all different ways of looking at this, but I don't think it's overall great. Anyway, they go on to say, new season rating. When a new competitive season begins, we apply some rank decay to all roles, meaning your skill tier and division will likely be lower from where the previous season ended. Players should climb back to ranks representing their true skill throughout the season, regardless of the rank decay. All matches will still be made off a player's underlying matchmaking rating, ensuring we're making as fair as possible matches. So as I said before, that just means you're looking at games in gold, which are basically diamond games, but now you're just gold because it's a visual thing, but it's still a diamond game. End of season competitive point payouts. Now, we did cover this, but I'll quickly just go over it again. As mentioned above, we have updated our end of season bonus competitive points to reward the highest rank you end with across all roles between role queue and open queue. Competitive points are awarded based on the ending skill ranks and no longer what is the highest achieved in a season. So what about in defense of this? Now, if you base rewards on the highest rank, all you're really doing there is encouraging people to get to a high rank and then stop playing the game. So in the old system, it would be if I got to 3.7k, yeah. Oh, great, I'm in Masters, whatever. Okay, let's use GM as an example, although I think my GM days are a long, long way behind me. But yeah, let's say I get to GM, right? So I was in Masters and I push it and I push it and I push it. I get to GM. And then all I do is play enough games just to maintain myself in GM. I'm not grinding the game every day. I'm not playing tons of games. I'm literally parked at that rank to get the GM level competitive rewards, which of course is more than it would be in Masters if I kept playing, which would be my actual rank, right? That's abusing the system, and that's also not great because you're not playing the game. This system, where it takes it off your rank at the end of the season, is way better because it's no longer about seasonal highs. It's about progressing through the season to get to that point at the end of the season where I am the best in this season. I've practiced, I've trained, and now I'm at my peak. That's fine on paper. But the issue we've got is Blizzard are not showing us what the rank is. So we've got this 7-game competitive update for wins, 20-game competitive update for losses if you go on 20 losses. So all you see is a rank which is not indicative of your current actual rank until the update begins. Now, the issue is it's very unlikely you're going to have a competitive update just before the season ends. Yeah, maybe you play a bunch of games in one day and you get that final update and then you stop playing. Then yeah, okay, cool. But most players maybe miss the final day of comp. Maybe they've lost 10 games and won 5, right? What does that do to their rank? We don't know because we can't see it, but Blizzard do see it, and that's the issue, I think. So I think ultimately what Blizzard are trying to do is, I think their heart is in the right place. They are trying to stop people basically throwing and not caring about games at the end of a season. Because when you get to the end, and this kind of happens at a weekend as well, but towards the end of a season, people would just mess about in Overwatch 1 because you'd hit your season high maybe at the start of the season when everybody is super try-hard and whatever, and then you mess about for the rest of the season. It wrecks the competitive integrity of that season. This system, though, makes you keep playing, makes you keep trying to win on paper. So you think, hey, this is going to create better quality games. But as I said, the blowback and the issue they're dealing with is they're not showing players what their ranks are. And this goes deeper into competitive. Like, you can't see what rank you are when you're in-game. You can't see the ranks of players when you join into a match. You just know that they're sort of at whatever rank you are, but the variance can be quite a lot. And we've seen it from higher ranked players where you might have all these GM players and suddenly they've just got like a diamond tank or diamond support and weird things like that going on. Although I am led to believe there are systems being implemented which will reduce that and look to kind of match people of the same skill level a little bit better. So you shouldn't be getting like a diamond tank versus a GM tank, because that would be a wild, mismatch. If there has to be a diamond tank on one team, then there's going to be a diamond tank on the other team, or at least that's what it will try and do. So yeah, let me know what you think about this in the comments below, guys. It is a contentious issue with Overwatch, and in fact, there was something I wanted to cover in this video, but I think I'm going to leave it for now. But it was just the overall competitive state of Overwatch. It doesn't feel as competitive as Overwatch 1 to me. Now, this might just be because I've changed the way I play the game quite a bit, and I'll, put my hand over my heart and say I have become maybe a bit more casual in the way I approach it. Like, I'm not just grinding out comp games all the time. I'm playing, a couple of games of comp, then I might actually play a bit of quick play. I might play in the arcade. I've kind of changed the way I play the game, and I don't know whether that's just because Overwatch has done that to me, or I've done that to myself. I don't know, but I think it's an interesting point to discuss how competitive Overwatch 2 actually is. And actually, is Overwatch a competitive game is another question I think we should probably ask. All right, guys, thank you for listening and watching to the video. I've been Stylosa. If you enjoyed the video, then do leave a comment below and like the video. It helps a ton. It absolutely helps a ton. And as ever, I always read the comments on all the videos. There's actually a really cool tab in YouTube where you can just read comments, and it's just like a comment stream from all of your videos, so I can just sit there for hours on end scrolling through it. It's pretty good, and there's some really good comments on there as well. But yeah, guys, thank you for listening and watching, and I'll catch you lovely lot on the next one. See you soon.